And he answered and said, "Yep, I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God."
Hello, Internet. Welcome to 2026. It's Pardonable Live, 8:30 on Sunday. We're back. I am here with my co-host, Alexander the Great, Alex the Great, Raniello. What's up, dude? Welcome to 2026. Popping this year off right. Where you been?
We're popping bottles in the air. How you doing, my friend? It's been a long hiatus. I'm glad to be back with all the shit posters and the anons. It's glad to have you back. What's going on?
Dude, we're not having a hard time finding topics at all.
No.
So much stuff friggin' happened while we were gone. And
the content gods keep
we're
giving.
just piling out. We're gonna not even cover half the things that happened that I wanted to cover. One of them I'm gonna mention up at the front that we don't have planned or anything like that, but Timmy Walls resigning. That was fun. That's a whole fun thing. I would love to just hang out and talk about Tim Walls resigning. Do you think it was the fraud or people driving by his house yelling retard all the time?
He's our favorite retard.
He really is. He really is.
No, I think they needed like an old white patsy with a ton of shit on him post 2024 election to kind of throw to the wind. So I think they looked at I think this goes back to when they were prospecting for Camel Toe's VP pick, they needed someone who was like, not this, not that, not a rising star, because they originally were going to take Shapiro, the governor, I think it was the incoming senator for Pennsylvania at the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, he's gonna be a star. So they were kind of already setting it up where they were gonna have this person coming in on her ticket being kind of the fall guy. So what better way to usher in that aspect of fraud with someone like Walls, who is always creepy, brought all these students to China for like months on end. It was really creepy. He had a bunch of weird shit in his past.
There was so much, and the fact that he could have been VP just makes me wonder, like, our healthcare system's already jacked. This would have just amplified it. You imagine that? Like, I'm backed by a ton of fraud. Dude, we'll get to the Somali fraud things. That's one of our topics. We'll get into it. Grumpy Gnome says, "Hey y'all, what's up, Grumpy?" Hung out with Grumpy on some spaces this past week. It was his birthday, so happy birthday, Grumpy. All right, so let's get to let's do some first thing right off the bat. A little house cleaning. I don't know if you guys noticed, new intro video. I thought that was pretty cool. We're gonna be rolling with
very cool.
A lot shorter, so that'll work out great when I publish this bad boy on Spotify. You're not sitting through 8 hours of intro music before we start talking. So that solved that one right off the bat. And we got all kinds of stuff. I was playing around with Alex doesn't know this. Alex, I was playing around with merch today.
Woo!
And some of it looks stellar. Looks friggin' stellar. Matter of fact, I probably should show it to you. You want to see it live on air? Do you think we could do that? That's a terrible show etiquette.
Blind reveal? Let's fucking do it.
A blind reveal of just one of them? Let me see if I have it pulled up anymore. It's pretty cool. So we're playing around with merch because that is going to be connected to all the cool stuff we got going on this year. And then hopefully cleaning up a few things as far as the website goes, because that thing's a friggin' mess over there. And I'm just throwing Pardonable Live into the Pardonable Artistry website anyway.
It's a never-ending battle.
It really is. It really is. And I'd like to start doing clips. Now, I don't know how the TikTok gods work, but I can do clips real easy by a click of a button. But normally, because they're all like AIs, like, this is the hottest topic around, put this up. But it's like cuts right in the middle of a sentence. I was like, this is incoherent. None of this works. Speaking of merch, we're looking at getting some No Mad Dog merch. Yeah. Oh, you got let's do that. You guys need to put 2028 on that bad boy too. Because I hope Mad Dog and Gnome will be running LNC chair whenever that thing happens. Does that happen in 2028? Either way, vote No Mad Dog, LNC chair. That's the ticket we're signing up for. And if you one other housekeeping thing, one of the things that I'm super busy with this year is a little tabletop RPG called Flintlock and Fog. Even got the player's manual set up right here. You can go to flintlockandfog.com and buy this and buy it now because it's going to be gone. Because in March we're launching a Kickstarter for the official player's manual, along with a one-shot campaign coming out with that. I've got dice being made and talks with minis. God, that thing is friggin' full steam ahead. If you are a D&D nerd and you're like, yeah, I love D&D, but I don't know, some of it's kind of boring and I kind of like playing with guns. Well, this will be perfect for you because it's set in the Victorian era. And you want to shoot Jack the Ripper with Sherlock Holmes and Van Helsing. This is the game for you, my friend. Go to Flintlock and Fog. Sign up. All right, we're done. We're done with that stuff. All right. First clip. I got a fun clip. I figured we start this off the show just to kind of get our revs up with some awfuls. I figured we start it off with an awful and just kind of get us in the mood for 2026 because it's going to lead up to our last segment predictions. We're going to talk about what we got planned on. So here's how we get jammed and pumped for 2026. You ready for this one?
Yes. Do
Let's
it.
Good
Let's
afternoon.
fucking go.
Fuck Donald Trump. Today I was at the range and it'll do your heart good to know there was a lot of women there.
range.
I was there not with but with the little one that I carry with me all the time, and I'm going to show you up here a little picture of what I was aiming at today.
You know what my favorite? I'm stopping it. No, my favorite part is she had to edit this video and she had to take a picture of I wonder if she Jack Posobic and just took a screenshot from an Etsy and put that up there. But she was just aiming at crotches, guys. Aiming at crotches. Anyway, I like that she took the time. She hurried up and filmed in her car, but then saved the video to crop in these shots of drawn crotches above her head.
Take it easy on Erica Kirk's grandmother, please.
That's true. So she does look like that too. And technically, these photos are kind of teabagging her on the forehead. So just bad placement. Bad placement. But if she would have put them lower, it would have looked worse. So maybe not much you can do with it. I also like how she didn't have the ball, or these are the actual targets that she used, and she was like, "This is what I was aiming at." Well, you didn't hit shit. Like none of it.
Yeah.
There's no bullets anywhere. And so that's funny. And that's funny. I thought I'd start the year off with some fun stuff. Anyway.
You motherfucking MAGA fucks, you might think that we're out here just sitting around wondering what's going to happen. I ain't wondering about shit. I know what's going to happen. Fuck you.
Anyway, thought we'd start that off a little Psycho Killer. I like that she picked Psycho Killer and she's like, I'm going to kill you. Like she definitely has the psycho eyes. And you know what? I was like, you know what else Pardon Live needs to start the year off with? Just explicit language right off the bat. So I got all that out of the system. I don't think we have any other clips with as much fiery passion. Passion is that, dude. One of the things I wanted to chat with you, because I don't want to spend a ton of time on, but it was the most thing while we were gone. The one thing that stood out to me like significantly, and I'm not exactly sure why. But I mean, because it's pretty predictable. But it was just kind of like I can't believe they're saying things out loud now, which we got a lot of that over the break. So listen to this. Mandani got signed in, and I didn't watch his whole speech, but just this one clip, and I was like, "Oh, dude, what a year! We're in it. This is gonna be a great year." So take a look at this clip real quick.
Oh, jeez.
We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. If our
someone underneath
fucking
this
dipshit,
clip, dude, I hate this guy, dude. I friggin' hate this guy.
I only hate him half as much as my heart can allow because he's still a retarded puppet from the Africa.
I know it's not really his fault. I mean, it is his fault, but you know, it's not him.
Parents' fault for.
And
Yeah,
I don't hate him because I love him. I'm gonna pray for his soul. I'm gonna pray for his salvation.
Well, I appreciate any puppets. I appreciate any puppets that can come from an accelerationist standpoint to basically short term the ramifications of shithead socialism, half baked.
Yeah, I agree.
It's negative. It's murderous qualities.
Yeah, and the other thing that I'm starting to realize, like we got some of this from Trump this go around while we were gone, is I am happy 2026 is the year where they just say stuff out loud. So they just like, we would normally lie to your face. But now we're just gonna say the things now. We're just saying the things. And this is a great thing. I like transparency. I like to know where his head's at. And I like that they're saying this so I can watch the clip. We'll play the clip on the show. And we'll talk about like this is what they believe, quote unquote, what they think you should believe, like it's a promotion for it. But rugged individualism's out. The warmth of collectivism is in. Someone posted under this that warmth you're feeling is the bodies on a a funeral pyre. They're just being burned in the center of town because everyone's dying of starvation.
The warmth of cold bones stacked up in FEMA camps because you spoke against the regime, or the warmth of burning wheelbarrows of cash for a loaf of bread.
That too, or just cow manure because there's no fuel anymore and you're having to cook with it. Just all of the things, But that was our boy Mondani, and
we learned from the Dutch where to bring that cow manure too. By the way,
right to
the town square.
let's freaking go right into New York. In New York, man, what's your let's go and hit predictions while we're on New York real quick. What's your prediction for New York for this year? Just 2026, not if it even is there for 2027.
I think by Q3 you'll start seeing the majority of the Fortune 500 companies starting to launch legal battles against the mayor of the city. I don't think they'll entirely pull out. I think they'll kind of fight for their stake. I think you're going to hear a lot more from Hochul. And you're just going to see more migrants and a lot more fuckery. I think you're going to see a lot of flood of you're going to see some ICE raids, and you're going to see some more of that combative clashes with 18 to 30-year-olds too. But he's not going to get nearly a fraction of what he wants done. I still think he's compromised by a ton of interest. We saw the picture with Alex Soros, so that's another predilection with what's to come. I think it's going to be a lot of just saying bombastic shit, kind of like Trump, which is why they kind of had that "suck me off" fest in the Oval Office day one. You're going to see a lot of that, but from the populist left shithead side. So,
I like the fact that we're getting a lot more from the populist left now too, because for the longest time it was they're just the crazies, off saying and doing riots. We're getting riot season around too. I don't know if you asked for that for Christmas, but it looks like riots are coming back. But yeah, I do like to see some of the populists left out there saying the stupid stuff that they believe, just so people can sit back and go, "What do you mean warmth of collectivism? That sounds like pitchforks. That's a perfect thing to come to mind is the pitchforks. Pitchforks. Jeez, I can't talk tonight. Friggin' wild. Anyway, we don't spend much. Yeah, this guy. I mean, I'm looking forward. I don't think I'm going to be honest. I don't think much is going to change in New York with him. I think Mondani, because of who he's backed by and all that, I think he's a ton of talk. And I think all of this is just for him to be able to run in 2028. I think this is his game plan to run. I would not be surprised. Oh yeah, I would not be surprised to see a Mondani ticket, AOC Mondani ticket coming up in 2028.
Totally disagree. I think he's kind of an he's kind of a provocateur, kind of tool, agent of chaos, because he's going to kind of lay the roadmap to create a false sense of normalcy with some of the things that he's elaborating for and fighting for, so that it shifts the Overton window, and then it sets the stage for an AOC with her fat Latin cans and maybe some other shithead like Bernie or something. Whoever has a bigger stack, those two can run together.
I don't think Bernie's running at all. I don't think Bernie.
No,
can.
I'm saying
I think
someone like that. Another.
Oh yeah. I think, to be honest, truthfully, in 2020, I know we're getting to predictions beyond 2026. I think we're going to see a Bill Maher come out. I know it sounds outrageous, but I think he's going to pull Lefty Trump. He's a talking TV show. I think he could pull it off. Comes off as a moderate and hardcore progressive, but in a weak way.
For our few and proud sports fans that follow the pod from my friends back home that check out the show, shout out to them, by the way, great fans. I think they know my hunch. There's a guy for ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, who I think is going to be low key trying to frame a run for 28 because you see how he's starting to get on some of these shows like PBD. He's going on Pierce.
Yeah.
He's going on. I think he's been vying for Tucker too recently, but he was always kind of shit Libby center left, but always respectful and didn't buy like the propagandistic left talking point bullshit. But now he's really moving center more and more on the ESPN outlets and the other sports outlets, and he's going more political, more mainstream. So I think he's starting to I think we're past the days of these, registered Democrats or Republicans that had 30 years in Congress or in public life running anymore. I think it's going to be more people like Trump, more people that are like front-facing public figures.
It's got to be firebrands. There's no way you can do it without it anymore.
100%.
I don't care how much money you put behind it. You better be putting that money to becoming a firebrand. The only thing about Stephen A. that I'll say, I think personally, I think he'll do it and he'll do better than Andrew Yang, but I think he's going to end up being in the Andrew Yang category to where he comes out and he's like, oh, who's this guy? What's he's got these and then all of a sudden just disappears in the ether because no one really wanted him. Like I like listening to him, but I don't want him running nothing. And so,
but if you remember with Andrew Yang during the open primary, I think back in 2016, he was the reason they gave him more mic time was not that he was more astute or had better ideas. It was to normalize the
Asians.
No, it was it was to normalize stupid Asians, which we didn't know was a breed before.
We didn't. It's a 1 in a million.
It was to normalize UBI.
Yeah,
that
was
good part of the national conversation until he brought it up. We all knew about it. It was kind of a proposition he had, on his campaign website and all that shit. But it wasn't really like created in normalcy to the public en masse. So
yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree 100%. Let's talk about Minneapolis shooting. That's the big thing that's been talking here lately. And here's the fun thing, with Pardonable Lives, we'll say the Skinks is top of the year. We like to start your week off on a high note. I'm not much of a black pillar. Alex, you're not much of a black pillar either.
No,
we're actually funny, easygoing dude. So I like to keep it on easygoing. And I was like, if there was one topic that we could try our best to make fun of, this one was really easy, even though it is kind of dark. And so there's a ton of funny stuff I have. But I'm going to refrain for a little bit. I want to have a good time, but I want to get your thoughts because this is where it got interesting this week. I had a few conversations with some libertarians, and I mean, I'm friends with some hardcore conservative right wingers as well. I'm a that pejorative, that conservatarian. I'm somewhere like there, somewhere. Although I don't know enough to be able to do that. I saw a bunch of different things about where everyone falls in on this map of this shooting. Now, I'll give you my piece, but I'm telling you my take is bad right off the bat. So, do you want to start?
Go ahead. Well, you cut out for a second. What was that?
Oh, do you want to start with your take on the Minneapolis shooting? How you feel about it?
Well, I mean, as to all these situations, they're complex because it's a lot of citizen journalism. It's a lot of shaky cameras. I've seen 3 or 4 different camera views of this. It looks clearly like she was fighting and resisting, and she ran over the ICE agent, and he just pulled fire and like shot her up multiple times. There's really no other way around it. I mean, it's one of those things where people can take it any way they want based on kind of their preconceived ideology. But for the fans of this show, we kind of know where we fall on this a little bit. Is like some of like the Libby anarchist libertarians will say like, oh, well, resist the state at all costs, no matter what the disposition is. Take up arms always against authority, yada, yada. I get that. But at the same time, I've never had an issue with law enforcement in my life, as whether I was in the right or in the wrong, as long as I followed their guidelines. So it always boils down to that to me. So you could take the L, the short-term L, and be compliant for the brief period there, and then just move on.
Yeah. I mean, I fall right in the same category. I'm not a big fan of letter agencies just in general, but I'm not against them. One of them, the ATF, I don't think should exist. I can't
100%.
logically put that one together.
Okay.
The CIA, I'm not a big fan of at all either. nor the FBI. But there was a point in time where I was like, Cash is in the FBI. Maybe we'll take the FBI apart with the
Maybe.
FBI.
Yep.
But then egg on my face. That didn't work out very
Egg
well.
on Clint's face, eggs on my face, egg on.
Yeah, we
yeah,
all
right.
got egged. We all
Yeah.
got egged pretty hard. But it's so agencies I'm not a big fan of. But when they came to ICE, I was not confused as why ICE was going into cities. I did vote for Trump, and he was like, "We're going to deport everybody," and I was like, "Okay, well, how do you do that?" Well, with ICE. So I think ICE might be the one agency where I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with them." I'm also from Texas, so I'm used to Border Patrol, and so that's like the one of them. Like, oh, these guys are great.
Yeah.
And so I'm just how my normally mainframe goes. Now, as far as him getting hit, I don't think he needed to shoot her. But here's where I back up with this. I don't think he needed to shoot her, but he did, and that's unfortunate. I'm sad that she died. That's my first point. Second point is, I don't think she needed to even be near him. I don't think she needed to be on that street. And this is why I say this. She's not fighting for a cause that she believes in. She's fighting for a cause that makes her feel good. If that was an illegal alien in the car and they were trying to get away because they didn't want to be deported, I've been like, oof, that's rough. You're resisting and you're running off. That I would actually feel worse about someone getting shot if it was like, oh, I'm trying to escape with my life. But she's there as a virtue signal, as fighting for a whole group of people. She doesn't really care. Like none of this. I don't believe any of these awfuls, these white liberal women that are out there protesting ICE. It makes them feel like they're fighting the Nazis and they get a pump out. It's the same thing while the boomers are out with their signs. Like Trump's a fascist. Like no, you're just reliving vicariously through the 70s where you remember going out smoking weed and holding the sign against the man. You're just trying to relive those days. It's the glory days. It's the same thing as the jock wearing the Letterman jersey. I don't buy it. And oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to chime in by saying, yeah, they feel left out of the victim culture. So they're trying to trans their kid or be overly empathetic and kiss the feet of black people to make them feel like they're wronging for the sins of their grandparents or their ancestors. It's like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, and I agree. And so even with like, I scrolled through so many videos and TikToks of white liberal women crying and yelling and like these ICE, they're all mad at ICE. And in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't believe you at all. Okay, I don't believe you at all. Like you were never cared about deportations until Trump got in office. None of this. I don't really think you actually care about the people who are here. I think this is for you to feel like you mean something in life. And so that part brings me circle back to, I'm saddened that she got shot, and I'm saddened she got shot for something I don't think she fully thought what she was involved in. I thought she was like, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to stand up for my brown neighbors, and I'm going to block the street. And when they come at me, I'm just going to do what I want. Cause we're defeating a Gestapo. Not, it's like, no, you're not. And you died for a cause that's not real. Like, it's just not there.
Yeah.
And
you
so
died for Soros and
freaking
BlackRock. I'm sorry. And Chinese oligarchs who are funding No Kings as well. It's all the same shit. We can read
this. For a psyop, dude. You died for a psyop.
We can read through the psyops. We can read through the psyops very early on, very quickly. But they don't.
And
they just don't have the same. Yeah, and I've seen really smart people fall for the same shit. It's not like an IQ thing at all.
No, it's not. It has a lot to do with the brainwashing thing, but that brainwashing isn't. It's programming from an early age. But you also want to, like, look, every movie, every comic book, every novel, every fantasy novel these chicks are reading, they're all like building up a hero. And how can you be a hero when you're an office clerk at a dentistry and you're 9 to 5? You don't have any kids, you're just you want to be a part of something big, and you're definitely not going to be Moms for Liberty. That's out because they don't allow cat moms in or whatever. And so you got to stand there. These people are just trying to find something to make them feel alive and meaningful. And I get that, dude. I get that. I just think you can go to church and become part of a church and a part of community, do something good and find, life through Jesus without having to go out and yell at a cop because it makes you feel like you're doing something positive. It's just
Yeah.
friggin' it's wild. Michael Giuliano comes in and says that the glass hole was on the front side. Speaking of which, let me do it. Did you watch the video from the cop? Did you get to see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that too. And even I was like, well, that she was smiling the whole time. I was like this, and then all the people were like, man, the lefties want body cams was like a Uno reverse card. It never works
Yeah.
out for them.
No.
It
No.
friggin' never. I love body cams.
It's
No
kinda like
matter
when-
what.
Yeah, it's kind of like when it's like when DEI goes full circle into racism, like with pop culture. We got to put black people
Yeah.
in every commercial. Oh, you find out they're doing a Popeyes commercial. Oh, what do we do with this
Yeah,
one?
no, we do it this one.
Yeah.
Biracial. We'll go biracial. That's pretty
Oh.
easy. Julian comes back in and says she was trained in an op. That does not surprise me. I
Nope.
put my
Good
money
point,
on that.
Michael.
But we got some more comments coming. You guys popping in the chat. It says Buckeye Zach 89. I agree. It was a progressive virtue signal that led to the traffic events. But F the ICE though, they are raping the illegals, man. Are they raping the illegals, the illegal men, or the illegals, man? I don't. Are ICE raping illegals? What do you think, man? I don't think they are, but it's not.
I think they're raping
unlike
us
them.
through. Yeah, I think they're raping us through public sector because of taxation. So it's kind of like what Gavin says. It's like, oh, Gavin McGinnis. Oh, like they bring in, 25 billion through like agricultural work and tobacco farms and all this other shit. Yeah, but they cost 120 billion dollars a year. So you're already 98 in the hole.
Yeah, I'm right, and I'm. There's no way you can convince me. Hold on, I want to read this one, and I want to chat about this because he's got a good point.
Okay.
He says, "I mean, remove them gracefully, but dang, don't take advantage of them." So I'm going to agree with Buckeye real quick. Oh no, didn't mean to do that. Which one did I hit? So yeah, I didn't, and I said this. I think we talked about this a while back. Some of the ICE stuff, like the Kristi Noem, like it's easily a sitcom. It's a show.
Mhm.
Some of the tactics are a little bit over and aboard, and I think that's a lot to do with Pete Hegseth and
Yeah.
the way he's like, hey, you can go out there and do this strong arm. And so I think like you could do this easily. You could get the same job done without putting the show on.
100%.
But what I will say, and this is an argument I get in a lot with libertarian friends, and people are like, screw the ICE, because there are three like I get it. I'm not a fan of authority.
Yeah.
Just not a big fan. And so there's really I'm hard pressed to want to back the ICE up. But I'll tell you one reason why I feel compelled to do so in a general scenario, just ICE in general. We wouldn't be doing any of this if it wasn't for the deep state that's still technically in office, flooding our country with illegals. This isn't illegals' fault. Like I feel bad that they're getting kicked out of the country, but then again, I don't feel bad. They took advantage of a system that I would have took advantage of. I would have crossed the border just like they did. And so when I would have crossed the border and I would have been getting kicked out, been like, yeah. At least I had a decent run. At least I got enough to send a little bit of money back to my, family in Honduras, whatever. And you're like, David, do you even know illegals? Bro, I worked construction all my life in Texas. All my friends were illegal. Like, I know how this goes. But that's the other thing. I don't really blame the ICE because we wouldn't be having this ICE situation, quote unquote, if it wasn't for them just, I hate saying the word Democrat on my stream, but wasn't for the Democrat deep state regime, Republicans do, just letting all these illegals in. And that was an argument I have a lot with my liberal friends. They're like, well, how do you feel about ICE? I was like, I feel like they have to be they're unnecessary evil because we didn't need them had we not done this. So no one should feel bad about deportations because you're not a bad person if you believe in deportations, because it's not your fault that they flooded the country in illegally on purpose. And so if I was to pick any psyop and pick any side, I'm going to go and I'm not taking ISIS side and I'm not taking the protester side. I'm going to take just the American who has to get up and go to work tomorrow. I'm going to take their side, and their side can be just as justified. Be like, you know what? I don't want these illegal aliens roughed up and kicked out or put in camps.
Right.
But I also don't want them here. And that to me seems like, I mean, it's a bit of a normie take, but that to me seems like the not just an American take, a basic American take, but also a fairly Christian one too. Because even if here's the Christian, dude, I'm sorry, I'm ranting. I'm going to give you the Christian take on this one now. Even if you were like, well, you personally need to treat all of these people like your neighbor, for sure. but I would never force my neighbor to have to deal with the tax burden or the crime or any of that. Buying illegal and go, you know what? Since I believe that I need to treat my neighbor well, you need to treat my neighbor well too. I would never do that. It's not the Christian ethic. So if I come across an illegal alien, I'm not mean to them, and I'm also not calling ICE. But I'm also not outside protesting, telling ICE to get out of my city. And that's where I stand. So I was a long rant. Thank you, Buckeye, for stating your point. If they're being raped, that obviously I'm against that. I'm against
Was he
ICE
metaphorically or
raped.
literally?
I don't know. And I probably can't say that word on YouTube. So we got kicked. If you're on YouTube, go and put something out there.
Yeah. If they're schmaping you.
Let's see. Buckeye's coming back. He says, yeah, progressive policies are the means to aggressive destruction. Use absolutely 100% correct. Iron, I will not be arrested. Oh, we're getting predictions. Michael, hold off on your predictions. We're going to get to that one. I'm going to put that one in my pocket. We're going to do predictions at the end because I don't know enough about that one.
It is popping off. They missed us. They missed us.
They missed us. Buckeye says metaphorically. Did you hear that, YouTube? In Minecraft. It's
all about context. I know YouTube doesn't like context. It's low IQ thinking, but
I know, really, for sure. Let's move on. One of the other main topics we missed that was actually before this whole Minneapolis shooting, the Somali daycare. Tell me your thoughts, Alex, on this daycare fraud.
Well, it's another 80-20 policy win by Trump to expose it after Nick Shirley did all that great work on reporting on the ground. It seemed a little too good to be true because after, you kind of find out where his sources of funding were coming from and some of the things that were kind of softball teed up for him in terms of all the locations and all the work that elderly gentleman was doing there in the city, pro bono. So I think it's low-hanging fruit to expose it. $9 billion is certainly a lot of money if it in fact surmounts to that. But it just, again, it's I think there's a lot of stuff that's been undercurrent in Minneapolis and in Minnesota. It seems to be a hotbed for corruption and fraud, which is why Waltz was on the national stage for as long as he was. And I think being here in the Northeast, Connecticut's kind of the same way. It's like a hotbed for kind of healthcare fraud. It kind of smells the same way. So it's precluding for me because I'm wondering when something like that is going to tee off here in the city where someone has kind of like this vlog investigative journalism work to do and in working to expose it. So with all that being said, I mean, it's low-hanging fruit. What I found out was that when we finally exposed, I think Jimmy Dore had work on it. We'll follow up next week as well on it. That Nick Shirley was getting money allegedly from Israel to expose these crimes. Then you find out that they did a charter, I think through the UN, to carve out a piece of Somalia for the Palestinians to relocate them. So it's kind of ironic that it's, again, I apologize for noticing, but it's just
Stop
very
noticing.
interesting. Yeah, stop noticing as I drink my juice box. Stop noticing, please stop noticing. Pepe Mimi here and insert here. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how that stuff always is so circular. It's wild.
Here's the thing. It's clever. I'll hand it to him. If that is the game plan, super clever. Super friggin' clever. Look, if we're gonna build the Riviera on Gaza, at least we'll move them to Minneapolis and not just let them die under rubble. I'll say that. How about that? It's better.
Well, the whole point was to carve out this fraud to be protected for Somalis to take care and rape our system here by taxes in order to exchange for housing the Palestinians that they're going to artificially ship out of Gaza.
Yeah. This
Crazy.
whole thing's a mess. It doesn't surprise me that there's multiple hands in this cookie jar, for sure. But and it being exposed, you're not wrong. So here's the thing that I picked up on. Every time James O'Keefe just cons one of these gay guys in the industry, and he comes out with this bombshell, it's like in the news cycle for 2 days and then it's gone. This 20-year-old kid exposes an entire network of system that I'm sure James O'Keefe could have done easily. And it's like news forever. Tim Walz is resigning. Like it's just collapsing. And I'm like, well, then what's James O'Keefe been doing? Because I love James. Like, Nick Shirley, get over there. Just follow up one of these dates that he's on. You're gonna find a rabbit trail. I don't. It's wild to me that he struck journalism gold when I feel like James O'Keefe has chipped diamonds out and no one freaking cares. And that that bothers me.
But he was always a prominent figure, and he's well groomed, and he does really good stuff, and he has all these follow up and this whole team involved behind him. So what I think it says more about Nick Shirley. It's like, why is he propped up to be? It seems too good to be true that he's just kind of laid out on a silver platter for us, for normies and people who are not familiar with his work prior, to just find it and have 140 million views. A hit a day later. It just seems a little too good to be true that just happened organically.
Yeah, but this also, I mean, if we're just gonna play devil's advocate, or at least Normie's advocate, let's play a game called Normie's Advocate.
Normie's Advocate, yes.
I like that. Elon, this is a subject very close to Elon's heart. So for him to get a ton of views on and be boosted on X, which in return waterfalls into all other platforms, it's not hard. If you catch Elon's eye, like you're speaking his language, and he just goes repost and hits it, and then gets on his autistic computer, his Jarvis, it's like, Jarvis, make sure this kid blows up. I could see that being an issue too, without there being some other seedy corporations. But also, never let a good crisis go to waste. So if a story like this is gonna break, how can we get what we want out of this kind of thing? We should just keep up on that one. I wouldn't be surprised if the only place I think it would be hard to find fraud in is around where I live, because this place is, there's just nothing to, it's all right there in front of you. There's nothing to dig up. So it's all right here. Anyway, let's move on to the CBS clip. I want to get to this guy real quick and hang out on him for a hot minute.
Oh, this dipshit.
Dude, again, saying the stuff out loud. We're saying it all loud. I love it. So let's watch this thing. It's 2 minutes long. I'm probably going to pause it and we'll chit chat. But I was like, what Matrix world do we live in now? So take a look.
A lot has changed since the first person sat in this chair. But for me, the biggest difference is people do not trust us like they used to.
It's playing on your
and
end.
it's not just us.
Oh, it's not?
All.
Nope.
It's not playing. Dang, what is the deal here?
Of legacy media.
Hold on, let me try something different.
Yeah, while we're working tech issues out, people in the chat at home.
Is it just Gray? I'm sorry, was it just Gray?
Yeah. So basically, before we tee it up, Tony Decopel, whatever, DACA pill, circumcision pill. Yeah, he was. I think he was on ABC Good Morning or whatever. One of those shit libby shows, those morning shows, and now he's taking over for basically Cronkite's seat and having issues right out the gate. But with all that being said, he's basically just making this pledge to an audience that just completely falls flat. And we know that this is post Bari Weiss, post Larry Ellison ownership acquisition. So we know what team he's playing for.
I'm gonna try this real quick. Tell me if this shows up.
A lot has changed since the first person sat.
Are we there?
Nothing.
All
Crazy.
right, let's get out of here real quick. This will be a real easy fix. I thought I could play around with this. It was like new year, new me. Let's give some things a shot. Let's drop some stuff in there to see if I can get it to work. And I was friggin' wrong.
While we fumble this live for people
We fumble this live.
like a couple special needs kids with a hammer.
And it's not just us. It's
real.
all of
All right,
legacy
there we
media.
Let's start back. Bunch of Tim Walz's with a hammer.
In your head now.
Bunch of Tim Walz with a hammer.
Yeah, Tim Walz looking ass is fumbling with a doorknob.
There we go.
A lot has changed since the first person sat in this chair. But for me, the biggest difference is people do not trust us like they used to. And it's not just us. It's all of legacy media. And I get it. I get it because I've been hearing about it from just about everybody for more than 20 years as I've traveled America on this assignment or that.
Oh.
My mom's neighbors in West Virginia,
hold on.
my own neighbors in New York City.
Sorry, what?
No, I'm talking over the clip. I was just saying, really, yeah, you jackass. You've been hearing it all over the place.
Dude, I can't believe the machine has become self-aware. And I don't know what to do with it. Because this is the first
Clearly
time.
not.
Clearly. Well, that's the coup de grace, right? Like you come out and you go, okay, guys, everything that you've been seeing, we see it because, hey, I saw it too. Then where were you? Where you been, bro?
Right.
And
They're
but
just
he goes into it and he kind of explains like, yeah, we were just caring about the, academics and these people. We didn't care about the average Americans. And it's
Right,
like, okay. But yeah, you're right. There's something coming up after this. Let's go and keep going.
Thousands and thousands of conversations in between. Sometimes people want to talk to me about our coverage of NAFTA or the Iraq War. Other times it's all about Hillary Clinton's emails or Russiagate. Or more recently, COVID lockdowns, Hunter Biden's laptop, or the president's fitness for office. The point is, on too many stories, the press has missed the story because we've taken into account the perspective of advocates and not the average American.
Bro, he was so close to saying advertisers. So close. But not the average American. Let's finish this up, bro. Yeah. He didn't say it, but he's like, wow,
he was going there. Oh, yeah.
He was thinking it.
Or we put too much weight in the analysis of academics or elites and not enough on you. And I know this because at certain points, I have been you. I have felt this way too. I felt like what I was seeing and hearing on the news didn't reflect what I was seeing and hearing in my own life, and that the most urgent questions simply weren't being asked. So here's my promise to you today and every time you see me in this chair. You come first, not advertisers, not politicians, not corporate interests.
Bro, I can't believe anything. I cannot believe any of this. All right, so machines coming self-aware, but they're not. They're not being honest. They're just telling it. And I feel bad because this guy's like hook, line, and sinker. Because he's making a claim that you clearly thought on your own, and I kind of thought on my own too, and we just weren't being good because we were concerned about all these other things. BS. You thought you could control us. You thought you could pull it. You thought you could do a hat trick. You could brainwash. So basically all this is saying is we see you now, and now you can trust us as we try to brainwash you from another angle. That's it. That's all this is. There's no way they're going to be clued in. No way they're going to even. So the gaslighting is going to continue until morale improves because this guy is friggin' stupid. Well, I feel bad for him too because it is an honest try, man. It's an honest try.
Well, he's just a prop reader, and he probably means well. He's just, he's just a slave for the state and for this new propaganda outlet with Ellison and with Barry Weiss. I don't think he means to hurt people, but there's a few key things in there that were like kind of dead giveaways. Besides the fact that we know that's all bullshit. Like you're not gonna suck up to Ellison. You're really gonna like say F you. I'm gonna run this story on Bibi selling out Gaza City and Trump and stuff. Yeah, no, you're not gonna. That's not gonna get published. That's not gonna.
I was about to say. Notice how he's like he didn't mention.
We know the red lines.
Anything about that?
But he also said like sometimes I was thinking things just like you. Sometimes I was you at home. It's like, well, if you were us the whole time at home, then where the fuck was your voice when all this shit was going down, when it actually mattered?
Yeah.
You're pretending to tell us you're going to tell us the truth now. It's like, get bent. Just because you guys are losing the key demographic, 25 to 40, is not our problem. It's the corporate press is in complete free fall. It's going to be AM radio in 10 years. Yeah. So all the shit is falling on deaf ears. We have better options now. We're not falling for the trains left the station.
Yeah, I agree. Buckeyes Baggy says make legacy media seem self-aware and honest to take back their tank ratings. He's absolutely right. That's exactly what this is. But the funny thing, and I feel so bad, this would have worked great in 2018. If they would have aired this in 2018, it would have done numbers. The problem is they're doing 2018 now because before this they were doing 2016, 2014. Yeah. And now they're doing 2018. They're just up to 2018, guys. Someone needs to call CBS, be like, hey, that guy you put on, he's being real honest and like you now. Yeah, we're past that. You need to be making frog memes and you need to be shit posting on internet. That's the only way you're getting your tanks back. You think even Joe Rogan's lagging behind. I don't know if he is on that, but like
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's so 2023.
So
We're
when
past that. We are
yeah.
moving way too quick for this. This poor guy. This
Yeah,
poor
so-
guy is so behind.
So when you guys cut the commercial and you're sponsored by Pfizer and you're sponsored by Lockheed Martin and Raytheon, are you gonna cut to a story that's sent in by some disturbed estranged mothers at home that have autistic kids now because they've been vaccinated to high hell, or sorry YouTube schmack schmeened, and all the people all the soccer players in shithead Europe dropping dead on the field because they got their Fauci ouchies and they have blood clots now. I'm sure you guys are gonna get right on that and put that up on TV and blame it on Francis Collins. I'm sure you're gonna do that.
No, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna half truth it, and they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to say something.
Getting to the truth.
Dude, notice also that CBS, how all of the topics he listed were right-wing topics. But I mean, it makes, I don't know what left-wing psyop that anybody would relate to at this point in time. They were all like, this is red meat for people on the right wing.
Yeah.
Or centrist now, technically. If you were centrist, you were just a normie. And none of it was like any kind of other left-wing thing. It was wild.
No.
Like the Biden, the COVID lockdowns, the Hunter Biden's laptop, Hillary's emails. He mentioned all of the, like, he hit the top
Got the big
ones.
ones. Yeah.
You got the big ones from way too far back in the day. But what they're gonna have to do is every time they're gonna come out and they're gonna have to give some kind of slight, like an appetizer to the right wing, and then play their propaganda spin.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it's just what's gonna be. It's like, look at this new story of the Epstein files is coming out, and we're gonna cover it, and we'll do it better than the other guys who didn't cover Hunter Biden's laptop. And then all the right wingers and be like, they said Hunter Biden's laptop, they're gonna tell me the truth now. And
But they don't understand. Like it's not like you guys are RT. Like you're not even Newsmax, and Newsmax sucks too. It's still hacky right wing propaganda. Like
they're further ahead.
They don't understand that this entire model is just dead. Like I don't know if we have the clip actually of him cutting to another clip when they were trying to cover the Tim Walz story, and so that clip too. It's just like, but you just see how they fumble it and they can't move on air. They can't be like, pull it up, Jamie.
Yeah.
They can't do that shit.
They can't even, it's like when we had just technical difficulties pulling that up, and you're like, let me just fill, I'm going to explain to you while I'm over here clicking stuff. They can't do any of that, dude.
Yeah,
they can't. The thing that I blows my mind, and someone told me this the other day. They're like, monologuing is a skill. And I was like, is it really? Because if you put me in front of a camera and just pick anything, pick oranges from Florida, I could probably BS and monologue about it. I mean, I'll be pulling other things in, but to be able to just rant live is a skill that none of these people have, dude. This is all teleprompter reading. They can't tell. They can't just go off the cuff and then, throw a joke in there. That would break them. They would break apart. It's freaking wild. Anyway, we live in a great age. We're ahead of the curve.
We live in a funhouse mirror of Zionist money.
Freaking clown world. And that's my point. It's like, this is a clown world. We're not falling for any of this anymore. I tell you what, if this guy comes up, prove me wrong. This is my Gavin McInnes. Prove me wrong. Come out and talk about something that comes out that passes the smell test. I will be looking for the little sleight of hand advertisement that's coming right after that. But give me something good. Give me some real journalism. Dress up and go on a date with a guy. Get me some James O'Keefe audio clips and throw those on CBS. I want to see that. Give me something like that isn't staged, because at this point in time, it's all staged. And now I had to sift through video clips of protesters in Minneapolis that are all AI. There's so many AI ones, dude. And I'm like, oh, what's going on here? Should we play this on the show? And I was like, that conversation's not real. That's not real. And I may have got some other AI ones. Man, what a friggin' joke. Let's do Maduro real quick, and then we're gonna get to predictions. Give me your thoughts on that. Was another big thing that happened. Give me your thought. That was also another topic that seemed to shake the libertarian independent stratosphere a lot. Was the Maduro. I think there's some. Let's go right off the bat. Let's talk about the obvious ones. Maduro being part of the 7.
Yep.
7 governments are supposed to be toppled that didn't have the central
The
banking system.
Rothschild Central Bank. Yeah.
That one's so everyone was like, yeah, Venezuelans already on there. We already knew about that.
Mhm.
I want to ask you because I wasn't sure, but all the lefties coming out talking about how awful this was. I think they all liked Maduro, or did they not like Maduro until Trump arrested him? Do you know?
It's definitely the latter. They just didn't like him until he arrested him.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Because I think the undercurrent, the narrative on Venezuela for a long time, was basically always like they're a socialist shithole. They have nationalized oil, and it's all sitting under their feet, and they're just incompetent and this and that. But I don't think shithead lefties really kind of gave them the time of day to think more deeply about why that doesn't work or why the means of production being seized and set into a set of incompetent hands
By
is not
a bus driver.
yeah. I mean, clearly this was the first time in American history, to my knowledge, that a president explicitly just went out and said, like, we're stealing their oil and we're going to have a targeted strike to extradite him and his wife and get them out and bring them to New York City.
Yeah.
The only blessing in this is that it was short, tactical. It was less than 2 hours, and no Americans' lives were cost or really put in danger. So
Yeah.
it was, from a precision standpoint, it was impressive. But again, it's very reckless. Again, they're very much in the minority of the actual drug dealing that goes on, which was their front face cover for why they were going in the dark to create this to do this tactical strike.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's because of the oil. It's to control the Western Hemisphere, keep China out, keep Russia out. That's the big play. And the fact that it's convenient that Maduro was on record like 2 days before saying "Free Palestine" on TV, and then you find out that it's one of 7 nations without a Rothschild central bank. Yeah, that's going to be more of a factor to go into as well, because we're BB's bitch here in America. So,
You know
yeah.
what I do like that is a bit of refreshing from your take and just in plain, because I saw this from a few people, but I didn't see it from a lot of people, at least in our camp. Was just you being like, yeah, the military strike was probably as best as I could have done. Like, kind of summing up, like it was clean, it was easy.
Hats off to that.
Civilians weren't really at all involved, which is really, man, as far as a libertarian ask, isn't that like the best ask? Like, to be like, I want a libertarian utopia, not going to happen, and it's just not. And so to get small wins, I always feel like libertarians are if it's not a giant win, it's not a win at all. And I'm like, no, I might not be autistic enough to fall for that one. I like little wins, and so my guilty pleasure was I'm not a big fan of Democrat socialists. I'm not a big fan of socialists and tyrants in general. It does feel weird for us to be the one to take them out. So I'm like, nah, all right, I can buy this. I don't buy the reason was like, drugs. But we didn't have to buy the reason, because Trump literally came out and was like, they took our oil, we're getting oil, we're going to be selling oil, I'm going to run it. And I was like, finally, at least we're getting the truth. Like, that's, I mean, even not necessarily the truth, just be honest. And that's all. People saying the things out loud, the news people, Mamdani saying the thing out loud, and Trump saying the thing out loud. And that's, if we want to add Venezuela to America, do it. I'm fine with that too.
Well, that's a great argument. It's a great point, because it's not like when we had the Syrian refugee crisis back 14 years ago at this point. It's not the same as during the Obama administration when that was going on, when people fled and came here. I think there is a real serious utility, not from like, weaponizing people as like political pundits, but having Venezuelans with the full knowledge and full scope to understand the criminal harms of socialism the way that the Cubans did similarly.
Yeah.
If they're going to come here, there's probably plenty of talent down there. Like, they could be they could be really serving, here in a bunch of industry, and they have the capabilities, unlike Somalis.
Alex, I don't want that. And that's why I like,
hear me out though.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying, yeah. So I know I'm kind of ranting, and I got to just bring it in a little bit.
No. I'm just saying, I don't want any more people coming here.
No, I don't want any more people coming here either. I'm just saying it's more in line. It's more in kind if we had to take care of people, because you've got to remember that Trump brought in a bunch of South African whites too.
Yeah, I didn't want them either.
I know. It's America only. I totally
Someone's
get
gonna
it.
clip that and be like, David said he didn't want Africans coming
Yeah.
here.
And then he
It's
went
like,
like
no, I
this.
meant the white ones.
And then he went like this.
He said his heart goes out to you, and he said I didn't want the white ones. Yeah, I didn't want that. No, I totally agree with you, and I think my problem was we would have more Venezuelans coming over the border had Maduro stuck around. It only gets socialism only gets worse. Like it's not like there would have been a turnaround, and it would have started to look up. None of that would have happened, and so I'm totally with you. And I think if Trump runs Venezuela, what's the chances people self-deport back? What if people are like, hey, what if a bunch of awfuls, white liberal women, are head off to Venezuela?
Yeah.
Find them a Venezuelan dude to go live with. That'd be great, dude. The earth might be healing.
If we can migrate and start if we can start procreating Venezuela and get some kids with some fat asses, hell yeah.
There we go. We're perfectly fine.
We're breeding mixed daughters with some fat asses.
Finally, we should trust Trump's plan. Let's trust the plan. Let's see where it goes. I did have this one. I wanted to share this with you because there's always one additional avenue we like to talk about. Let me pull this up real quick. There's always one other, it's never always the same story. And this one, I think anybody would have clued in on, because our audience is full of a bunch of noticers. So let's see what this guy says about the Maduro thing.
Oh, this is great.
Implications here are really great for the Venezuelan people. 27. The implications here are really great for the.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, what's the chances that Venezuela starts to look like little Palestine? It's coming, dude. It's coming.
Is Venezuelan food even compatible with hummus?
The plantains kind of had the same texture. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
Who ordered the scud?
God, dude. We got Paint with BO coming in. What's up, Paint with BO? We are having a fantastic.
Hey, that's my buddy Brian. What's up, Brian?
What's
Shout
up,
out at home.
Brian? You're all right. We so here's my last take on the Maduro thing. I probably should be more mad at it than I am. Again, I don't. God, I'm trying so hard to care about geopolitics. It really, if it's not inside the actual drawn lines on a map in my room, then I have a hard time caring what we do, unless it's my friends going over there and not coming back. That's right. The only, and that's to be my apprehension. Why I'm an isolationist is because I was at the tail end of high school when 9/11 happened, and a lot of my friends signed up.
Yep.
And that's when I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm. And then I joined a punk band after that, and it was all over for me. You were really gonna be hard pressed for me to want to think about any kind of war anywhere outside of where I was from. And even now to this day it is. And so we're not at war with Venezuela. I'm fine. I didn't like blowing up drug boats, because every time someone's like, look at the drug boat got blown up, my frugal sense is counting dollar signs. Like, well, I paid for that missile. I paid for that one.
Yeah.
So
but when is the right going to delineate the fact that two things are true at the same time? First off, fentanyl is poisoning our nation. It's not a drug of choice. No one seeks out fentanyl. But also, I'm saying to the people
Canada
at home
does.
No, I'm saying like people that are right wing, like, you lost the drug war. Just give it up.
Yeah.
You don't need black markets. People are going to do the drugs. They're going to get them. They're going to find them. So don't expend all this adventurism to just be doing all these tactical strikes to take out boats for cocaine that would already get here in anyway. Like, what do you think Big Pharma is? Big Pharma is just a scaled operation of drug dealing. That's all it is.
Yeah, but the cartel doesn't have the news, CBS News in the background.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. And so, but yeah, I'm with you on the drug. I had this conversation. I'll make this real fast before we go into predictions. I had this conversation with I'll give him a shout out. I was in a space with Free. He runs Are You Smarter Than a Politician show on X. He runs that show on YouTube, I think. And who knows, maybe I'll be on it one day. There was some talks in the background, about me going on there. It's a game show. Anyway, I was on a conversation with him, and they were in a Spaces, and I had the only right wing take in there. They're all like, "Nope, just I don't want drug wars anywhere." And I was like, "I don't want people doing heroin around me. Is that so hard to ask?" And so I was like, my solution is not blow up drug boats, just make it available like in someone else's country. So what if heroin wasn't legal here, but you could get it so easily if you just cross that border, and then self-deportations all over again. And so that's my game plan. Make heroin and fentanyl, make that all illegal just on the other side of the borders.
Yeah.
That'd be my game plan. Which it kind of already that's what the 90s were, man. You went to Mexico to get your lip injections and your hardcore drugs. And that's just what it was.
And your BBLs.
And your BBL.
And stem cell research.
and your ayahuasca and everything
Maybe
good in
teeth.
life.
Maybe some teeth too.
And if you're 16, just to get some booze.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go into predictions before we do. We got Buckeye coming in. Yep, Venezuela is the next operation installed. The Rothschild Central Bank, along with all the other factors. Maybe we're going to get a Riviera in Venezuela. It might be a nice place to vacation here soon. If Trump if he runs it the way he wants to run it, I guarantee half of the country will be a golf course. God, I hope not. Oh God, I hope not, because no one can live on a golf course. Means they're all going to be living in Minnesota.
That's the wrong nation for golf courses, because
that's right.
Mexicans aren't going to take care of the grass. Then
what do you mean? They're great at taking care of grass.
I'm saying, yeah. Well, I don't know about Venezuelans. Can they cut lawns?
Yeah, dude. See, here's the thing. I'm going to let you a little insight. You know, when you're driving by a construction site and you're like, oh, look at that. It sure is a bunch of Mexicans. Wrong. That's Hondurans. That's Guatemalans. That's Venezuelans. That's all of them, dude. They're all, you stop, and they all work in crew. I'm not going to go into, I don't want ICE to watch my show and be like, wait, what'd he say? Just take some notes. But yeah, dude. Yeah, they're from all Mexico. I rarely ran into a Mexican. That was illegal. Most of them were legal. Anyway, let's move on. Predictions, dude. Now that we've got all our swearing, our cuss words, our racism, our anti-Semitism.
It's been a potpourri show. We really have it all.
Retard multiple times.
I got it all, Jerry.
That's right. We hit the ground running, and I this year I was like, I'm gonna try to be more positive. I'm gonna try to be more loving and caring for my fellow man. I really do feel like this is a year where I'm exposed and talk about the truth and be honest about myself and my beliefs, and just be like, you know what, this is going to be a good year. And here I am calling Tim Walz a retard. Old habits die hard. Let's all right, predictions. I'm going to start off with the first one. I want to get you yes or no, and then tell me why. Civil War, buddy. Civil War.
Okay, Tim Pool.
Hold on.
Are you asking for my prediction? Yeah.
Civil War.
Candace needs to shut the fuck up so we can stop losing the midterms.
I'm spending so much money while making so much money. Sorry.
Someone put a bomb and a poop bandit in my.
They're shooting my chickens. I'm sorry. All right,
Roberto
real
Jr.
quick. My favorite rants, and this is how I'm like. This is why I like. I love Tim Pool. My favorite rants are when he starts to complain about running his company because of just all of the money. And I love it because it's like, bro, you're not supposed to say this. Again, people saying things out loud. This is the kind of thing you yell behind the scenes and you lock it up. But he's like, I could just go down and live in a van down by the river and be perfectly fine with my millions and millions and millions of dollars in cash. But I'm over here trying to change the culture. And all you guys want to do is talk about how there's a hat underneath my beanie. Like,
yeah.
And I love that. It's real. That's real. Tim Pool is a real character, and you know it when he starts ranting about all of his employees sucking at their jobs. He's just freaking out. And we can't order a cable.
There's
None of my security guards. I love it, dude. It's my favorite part.
There's no fucking way he's not on Ritalin. Don't convince me for 1 second.
Dude, yeah, no, I agree. I mean, people probably think I thought about it. I was like, I should be on Ritalin, but look at me now. Look at me now and coffee. That would be a terrible idea. I should get on Ritalin, lose my hair, and wear a beanie.
we have the same flavor of autism all the way around.
Yeah, I like it. I do. The Civil War. I'm gonna go with a no. I don't think we're gonna hit it. I think we're gonna escalate, but I don't see full on Civil War happening, and I can tell you why. You want, or what do you think before I go into why?
Launch into it. Go for it, dude.
Why? Because the wrong people are in power. Civil War was more likely when Biden was in. If Biden was doing things like they were doing, even then I wasn't. I was like, Civil War is not going to happen. Look at the way people. This is how I know Civil War wasn't going to happen, because no one during J6 showed up with a weapon. Civil War is not going to happen. And now that it's like these lefties, they're agitating, they're trying to run over cops. If this gets to where it starts to get to a civil war like this year, then it'll probably get shut down. The only way it would happen is funding would have to really piss off the side that would fight with guns. Like that's the only way. And you're gonna have to figure out a way to piss them off. And the wrong guy's in charge for that now. And that's my take. So I would say Civil War is possible, but I don't think so this year. What's your take?
I think only history will determine the timeline with which we enter or exit a civil war, air quotes, scare quotes. In the traditional sense that we think of things. But I think warfare, there's too many options for the disposal for the autocrats on high to manipulate us. So I don't think they need to do any of these weapons with guns, things in the street, with riots, with bombs. I think they can do it through economic warfare. They could do it through the culture. They could do it through devaluing the dollar. They could do a lot of things to destabilize us from the inside, buying up all these houses, in everybody's neighborhoods with BlackRock, and just kind of putting people into crippling despair, spiraling out of control, having less kids, less marriages. I think all of those things are kind of the multi-level, multi-tier spiritual warfare that we're existing through. I don't think you can win a war with guns and weapons if it's a spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
I think the only options out of it are through. And I think that people just need to get right with God and expect and hope that whatever's coming to them, they're best prepared for. Now, with that being said, I think it's a little too perfect and on the nose to have a full-fledged revolution in 2026 being on the America 250 anniversary. But at the same time,
man, that does sound like a good show.
That's what I'm saying. It just seems like so if we are in a simulation, then maybe it is the perfect year for it. But other than that, I think it's a little too on the nose. I think you may get flavors for little breadcrumbs of it at the end of this year. But I'm more interested in the battles that go on a daily basis. Like, I'd rather be in the trenches and not see the forest from the trees because I'm not interested in the forest. I just want to cut down trees.
Yeah. I love that. And to be honest, your take about it being the 25th year in this simulation, that might be the only argument that convinces me that maybe this could happen. Because you're absolutely right. I just don't, unless they're looking to reclaim territory, maybe for data centers, which leads me to where we don't need a civil war. We just need riots, which is the next prediction. Are we going into winter, spring of love 2026? Because I'm going to go and say, yeah, I think we're heading that direction.
I'm gonna twerk for George Floyd. Yeah. I think some of the teaser expansionism stuff with Greenland, which we will cover on the next show, because that's starting to kind of be a little more serious. But there's just not too much to report at this time. I think that could be kind of the hub for the data centers, and then it becomes more of like a sovereign, like NATO expansionist kind of territorial asset for us, so that it becomes encroaching on Western Europe, where China and Russia can't really touch it, because it would basically trigger any kind of war for us.
Yeah.
So that's why they would probably strategize to have those
smart
data centers in Greenland to kind of like stabilize that area. But the Dutch don't give a shit about it. I mean, the British owned it at one point, to my knowledge. It really, there's no one there.
Yeah, no one cares. No one really
pretty,
cares.
but
That's a smart friggin' take, Alex. That's why I like having you on here, just because that's a very intellectual take. I'm like, what are they taking Greenland for? Ski resorts? Yeah, probably ski resorts. And no, that makes a lot more sense. Data centers. So what about riots? Are we getting riots this year?
We'll get a few. We'll get more in Minneapolis. We'll probably get some, maybe in New York City. Got a few in Chicago on the South Side. I would keep an eye on Brandon Johnson too. I would also keep an eye on Gavin Newscomb. I think LA will probably have another, Walton's backed No Kings part 3. So yeah, expect all the same fuckery. But I don't think we're gonna have really as much problems on our southern border. I think things might get a little weird with Canada, just because I think you might start seeing some of the refugees now that President Carney's been in for a year now too. So that's something that's not really getting reported on. So we'll definitely see. But you know, there's going to be no shortage of chaos.
That's the thing. The reason why I think riots are going to be is because I think they kind of need them, because midterms are coming up, and it's the same thing with the election. Like, I know midterms mean they mean something, but they're not like the prestige at the end of the 2028, but they do mean a lot. And so to me, it was like, it totally makes sense that this year would be the year. Everything was quiet last year, and this year will be the year for riots. If anything, like, I don't think lefties are mad about the lady being shot in Minneapolis. I think the only thing they're mad is that she was white. Because man, that would have worked out great had she. I think that's the only thing lefties are mad about. Yeah, they're like, this is close. She was gay. We were almost there. We were so close.
Yeah, she could have identified as disabled and black. You never know.
Oh, she could have. That has been totally true. All right, one last one. Bitcoin. What are we doing with the cryptos? Oh, are we going to the moon? I need Doge to go to the moon now.
Well, I think they're going to start normalizing the Overton window to have stable coins be kind of a term in the common lexicon. So I think
did they crash Bitcoin for that?
No, I think they're gonna. I think so. This is a very unpopular belief within our circles. I actually don't buy. Like, I think they're gonna hijack the blockchain technology for their own sake of backing the stable coins. So they're just gonna have, the Federal Reserve notes transfer to that kind of capacity. We know it's all ones and zeros regardless, but with with Bitcoin and Monero and stuff, I just don't know that I'm not sold on the fact that they can't crash it or they can't steal it. Like, that's the thing. It's like everybody's like, it's 100% certain. It's like nothing in this world is 100% certain about blockchain technology except for death and taxes. There's no certainty that they're not going to steal your keys, or they're going to rob your house, or they're going to raid you and they're going to take your keys. You know what I mean? It's just I've always been a precious metals and like a tangible hard asset type of person. Collectibles, things like that, things that add value over time. That's why art's been always popping off as a major, a major stable thing for money laundering. It's just reliable.
Yeah, I have no idea. I
don't know. No.
I don't either. I figured I'd ask somebody who knew a lot more about Bitcoin than me. I'm gonna take Buckeyes. He says they already hacked the Bitcoin blockchain network back in 2014, and to me, I've never thought if there's a system to be rigged and something to gain, someone's did it already. And so I've always been of that mindset. That's why I was like, I don't know how anybody gambles on anything, and I also don't know how you have full faith in our voting network and system. I get voting. Do what you can. Pascal's wager. Be a responsible adult. But to be like, this thing's tip top. No, don't think that. Please don't think voting's tip top. We also got by coming in with a great concept when it comes to Civil War. It says we're heading for Civil War. I hope the Trekkies versus old school Star Wars versus nerds and versus woke Star Wars dorks. I'm signing on to that one, dude. We need an all out. You know what we need? We need an all out Star Wars Trekkie war. And just like we need a good Star Wars movie come out right at the same time as a good like Star Trek movie, box office same weekend, and then I want to see all the Star Wars and Trekkie go out. Like, we all have to go watch this movie 18 times to beat the. And this is why I should be running Hollywood and not the other people. Call me, BB. Call me. I will pump your Star Wars, Star Trek numbers up. Buy both of them, own both of them, and run them at the same weekend, and have the Star Wars and Star Trek nerds fight. They already know this. They've been doing this with countries for years, and so But yeah, that's how I would do it in the Hollywood setting. Yeah, man, I've got no other predictions. I do think it's gonna be a wild year. I don't think we're gonna get any Epstein files. I think that ship has done sailed and is off to a different island. And so I don't think that's gonna happen. I do look forward to playing Bongino clips coming up
Oh
in the
yeah.
near future
Yeah.
because he's crashing out hard and I'm loving it. It's sad, but I am kind of loving it. I got one more clip I want to play. This goes back to our Minnesota, and I don't even know. So here's the thing: I love playing hysterical people, just funny people crashing out. And this show tonight was just been a lot of white liberal women. I apologize to all my white liberal women out there watching.
They've had it coming due for a while.
This has been rough for them, dude. We all need to pray for the closest white liberal woman that you know. They are not handling this Minnesota thing at all. Holidays did not treat them well whatsoever. So this one's got something, a very good point I wanted to share with you because this is something we brought up. And
What in God's name am I looking at?
She might be onto something. You ready for this? Bro.
He shot her because she was queer. He shot her because she was queer. You can see so clearly. I didn't think that it was like that before, but when you see the footage, he shot her because she was queer. And you voted for this.
Man, all right. So my favorite part about this is she just made it about her, like not her in general. Just like they got to make it about them. Is it for they're out there protesting the illegals? Like, no. She didn't get shot for illegals. She got shot because she's gay. So it was only a matter of time before they're like, how can we use this for our benefit, bro? I had to.
Can the liberal women even claim that whatever that thing was?
Claim what? The ICE thing? Yeah, they can now.
No, I mean whatever that.
What we just watched?
Person, yeah, whatever that person. I identify.
They them, dude. It's they them. Get it right. You're canceled. You're friggin' canceled.
My pronouns are fee, fi, fo, fo.
Dude, I love this. Dude, I love this take. And to be honest, the reason I love it is because she's like, this person got shot because she hates ICE. She hates illegals. Bing, bang, boom. She was gay. The cop was like, I'm shooting a gay person today. Yeah. And that's where she got to. And it's clear to her. It's clear. Here's my problem. This is my conundrum. I'm going to pull it back real quick just so you can see the face again. Every day I wake up and go, Trump isn't doing the thing that I wanted, but I did vote for him. And I didn't expect it to be anywhere near good. So I'm technically winning. And then I see stuff like this and they're like, this is what you voted for. I'm like, this isn't what I voted for, but I kind of wish it was. No, I kind of wish this is why. Well, that's a fun joke.
That's a good punchline to go out.
I know, right? That's it, guys. We had a great Sunday night. We'll be back here next week, every week, 8:30, unless something happens, and then Alex is going to take it over, and I don't know. We'll flip flop. We'll play a recording from last year. I don't know. Who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll be back here.
Yeah.
I just threw that at you.
And everybody at home, keep an eye out. We got some really cool merch coming. We'll have some reels later this year. We appreciate you guys coming in the chat and holding us accountable, bringing up some great points. We love the discussion, so keep it rolling.
Yeah, I love it. Fantastic, guys. You are awesome. We wouldn't be doing this again this year. Another year around, wasn't for you guys in the chat hanging out. So make sure to come back 8:30 next Sunday. Partner Live will be holding it down. I hope you have a fantastic week. And as always, God bless you.